Camera rolling now.
We're doing it live?
We're live.
Oh, we're going live?
We're doing it live! No, wait. This is just a soft recording. Mic 1 2 1 2.
How many have you done now?
This is number 3.
Hey, I'm number 3.
I had a failed sports podcast over COVID.
Yeah.
I did like 10 of those episodes.
I'm still in my house.
You hop on the ones? We're doing, it's called the Lego.
I'm freaking, first of all, I'm basketball fan, huge Celtics fan.
All right!
And my former podcast co-host, I was telling him, Denny, actually plays in European basketball league, and at the time, we'd been going for a while, but all the stuff in Israel happened, which is when he was playing, and then they had to get wrestling out, and it stopped once.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. But yeah, I flipping love sports, like,
Sports
especially
balls away.
basketball. Basketball's my jam.
Is that what you played?
No. 5'2". I remember trying to play when I was in 7th grade, and because I was the shortest person, like they wouldn't give me a lot to play against.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is not. I don't like getting hurt.
Should I turn this off?
Yeah.
See, I'm way too loud.
Yeah. That was the loudest, so I guess this is the furthest away from
Hi, my name is Maxwell, and I'm obnoxious. My parents didn't hear me in my cries growing up, so now I feel like I have to shout to
Everybody
overcompensate.
gets it now. Everybody gets to hear you now.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm only kind of saying.
Sound is rolling.
Kind of.
Let me get these fans off. Sorry if it gets hot in here.
No, it's fine. I'm menopausal. It's good. I'm just.
Oh, we've been recording. Oh no, the mic.
Oh.
It's not broken. Should we put something like in front here?
Yeah. I need to get some sandbags, honestly.
Honestly, you put
Sit.
my bag or.
Yeah. There we go. I think I have it correctly. I think I just bumped it. So we should be okay.
Okay.
About to find out.
Alright. Sound is speeding. Camera is still rolling.
I was at the Mexican OT
I said
concert.
I drink, okay?
Yeah.
Just...
Alright. What do we have here?
We'll go ahead and promote this. Shout out to our lovely sponsor, Sonder Brewing. If you're in Ohio, you need a brew. You betcha we got something for that ass. That's all right.
Amen.
Amen. There we go.
We got a Kolsch and a crisp, refreshing German-style beer. Let me look at this one.
Ooh, this is more summertime vibes. Blonde and betcha, yes. But we got the German, powerful, cold-blooded ones too.
Yes. Oh, this is the New England IPA. Cool.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to have one of these.
Well, I want one.
All right. and while you're consuming, I'm okay. We also have the lovely, I've said this wrong 1,000 times, Lebanon Newer?
I can't read that.
It's a Lebanon salon, Lebanon Newer. They have I say newer, like manure, Noir, Noir, Lincoln
Noir.
stuff.
Nice.
Their pet stuff actually works. We demoed it on little Maisie at home, little Bernie Doodles, so pet stuff works. Human stuff is good too. So go check it at the Lebanon Noir Salon. They also do hair and all that fun stuff.
Yes, Noir.
Perfect. Smiles, all that. Great.
Yes, all good stuff. Thank you so much for giving us these products, and we're happy about it.
Very cool.
So today we have the great, the powerful, Misty the comedian. All right.
I should have done the spit take as well. Nice. Thanks to you guys for having me, by the way. This
Of course.
is really cool to be drinking an IPA before noon.
Hey, we heard it's your birthday soon, so you know
Right.
we have to celebrate.
Tomorrow's the big day.
Awesome. So you're because I did like Instagram creeping. I saw like some sort of sports ball therapy, but what's the specific title?
So I'm a sports LMT and precision neuromuscular therapist.
Precision neuro.
Muscular therapist, yeah.
What
Super
does
fun.
that
Smart
entail?
muscles.
So it basically is being taught that when something goes wrong in the body, we don't basically take a whole body approach. We have learned a lot of different techniques and muscle testing techniques to kind of fine tune specifically where the problem's coming from. So for example, somebody's hurting left lower butt or whatever it is. It's not necessarily coming from that area. We're taught to kind of address where it is coming from, then get to where it hurts. So
Okay.
so
So
you fix problems a little bit faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, you know, the ankle's connected to the knee bone bone's connected to the hip bone. But you work around those muscles, though. There's like, I'm sure you get like a lot of like knee and ankle injuries.
Tons. Runners are my specialty. I can work on runners all day. And I think over the last 9 years, I've definitely developed a lot of techniques to actually help a lot of my runners become a little bit faster. That's my
there we
secret
go.
weapon. So, yeah.
All right, you get superpowers if you work in Misty.
Superpowers, that's right.
Hey now.
They don't work on me, but everybody else.
So and how long have you been exploring this career path?
9 years.
9 years.
Yeah, this is actually year 9 for me. And I was telling him, prior to that, I worked in marketing for 11 years.
Oh, okay.
And I was a very injured distance runner who spent 2 years in and out of PT with repeated stress fractures. That's basically where the tibial bone has a slight fracture. And
you just told me tibia bone, like I don't have any idea.
so that's the shin bone here.
Oh, okay.
And
Shin, got it.
shin bone. And after 2 years, it just continuously kept happening. And PT just said, maybe you just shouldn't run anymore.
Really?
And I said, how?
How am I supposed to have therapy? What are you talking about?
Right.
How was that an answer? And, you know, at the time I was in my 30s. So I just thought, wow. So I went to go see a precision neuromuscular therapist who in one appointment fixed everything. I should knock on wood.
Really?
That was 2013. I haven't had a stress fracture since.
That's awesome.
And all I thought was, I'm
One
switching
time.
careers. I'm going to advocate for athletes and people in pain when traditional medicine doesn't, because we need more of that. So
That is awesome.
That's
Yes.
why Misty's a
Yes.
powerful get on the podcast. All right, so that's positive stuff. That's beautiful stuff. But comedians, comedy,
yes,
Here to laugh.
degeneracy, dysfunction,
Absolutely.
horror.
Love it.
What got you into doing stand-up?
Oh man.
And how long have you been doing stand-up?
So this is year 2 for me.
Awesome.
Year 2 for me. Actually, I got divorced about 5 years ago, and I couldn't believe how much dating in my 40s looked exactly like it did in my 20s.
Oh,
you know?
no.
Dudes, numbers just age is just a
no.
number because
I
dudes are
mean-
still dogs. Dudes are still
Dogs.
stupid.
What was like? How candid can we be on this podcast?
100%.
Yeah, you've heard the first one.
I was dating mostly guys in their 20s. That's who asked me out, and I just remember, like
Oh,
on my
just
3rd
dumb
trip to the
dumms.
urgent care with a yeast infection, I'm like, this
Oh, God.
yeast infection. Like I remember calling my best friend, who this was like December,
Yeah.
and she doesn't answer. She sends me text. She's like, "Hey, sweetie, I'm at church passing out gifts. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm on my way to the urgent care with another yeast infection."
These 20-year-olds just keep breaking my bag.
They do.
Like, man,
It's
we
all
can
you-
do better than this.
So anyways, I just thought there's a lot of jokes that can be written on this. So I did. I think I woke up at like, fun story, I will tell you this part. The guy I was seeing actually was an athlete. It's the only athlete I ever was seeing ever.
Good for you.
And I'll never forget, I wrote my entire first set at like 3 a.m, started emailing comedy clubs. Go Bananas was the first to respond. And I'll never forget, he said, it was Lee Kimbrell, and he said, "Yeah, you're on for January, and this is a bringer show. I want you to bring 5 people." And I was like, "Oh, that'll be easy."
I hate those rules, by the way. They're fucking trash. I mean, did I say that? Did I say that?
Every entertainment industry has, like, every
Yeah.
part
It's
of it has that, and it's...
They do.
It's tough.
It was my first time, so I knew I could get a lot of people because they weren't used to me doing it yet. People
Yeah.
were going to be curious, so
Oh,
I thought
for
this will be easy. So, I think they sell out at 2:30.
Okay.
I brought over 180 something people.
Oh, my God. First
All right.
And some of my clients and some of the Bengals were there, but I'll never forget. The day of the show, my friends start calling me. They're like, "Go Bananas is calling, saying it's sold out," and I started to panic, like, "Oh my God, I saw
Now, was this a 5-minute set?
It was supposed to be, but when I
Yeah.
got there, Lee said, "You sold the place out. Like, if you want to do 8, 9, 10, I don't care.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
go on right
awesome.
after you.
Your
You're
first
gonna go right
time?
for me." And my 7th grade
That is-
teacher, my 7th grade teacher drove 2 hours to see me, and I said, "He's gonna hear me tell yeast infection jokes. Like, this
my
is so bad."
And he's going to masturbate the whole time. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's your 7th grade teacher. I've been longing for this one. Oh.
You can be pretty candid.
Yeah.
Right. So the day of the show, the guy that I had been seeing was like, wait, I heard some of the guys saying that you're going to be doing comedy tonight. I'm like, oh yeah, forgot to tell you. And he was like, I had no idea. I don't think I can make it tonight. And I said, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think you should be there. And he said,
I'm going to hurt
Misty,
some
no.
feelings.
And I said, oh yes. So I remember getting up there like after so many glasses of wine because I needed so much courage. And I got up there and just killed my very first set. I mean, I bombed on the next 3, but that one I killed.
No, were you like just ripping? Like you didn't even go over your written material?
I did go over my written material, but because it was based on my real life, there wasn't a lot I had to memorize, right?
Well, it was
jokes
funny.
I've been telling friends for weeks, and I'm like,
yeah, Sopranos is like you write like highlight points, and then you can just go.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, that was it.
That's awesome.
What is your comedic process? I guess, like, how do you come up with your jokes? Whether real life or just jokes?
I think it's all really based on my life, like everything. Sometimes I reach back into what it was like raising kids. I have a 25 and a 19-year-old.
Oh, that's great.
Sometimes it's based on my job, which I don't talk a lot about, but I'm kind of getting there. Sometimes it's based on being married most of my adult life, and then what it was like, you know, not having sex for.
Hey now. Never again.
But that's pretty much it. It's based on my real life, so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, growing up, was comedy always a thing for you?
Always.
All right, who are your top 5 growing
Man.
up?
Growing up, Carol Burnett, Joan Rivers,
Joan Rivers is fantastic.
Richard Pryor.
Oh, yes.
And not that anybody loves this name, but even Bill Cosby. I remember watching. It was Bill Cosby.
That was
Well, see, I put the pudding in the sounder. I mean, we won't say solder for this skit. I'll block it off. But he put the pills, you get a little sleepy, I get what I want. Go.
Listen, everybody,
Bill
I should
Cos-
tell you the address where I'm at just in case something happens.
right.
No, Bill Cosby. Okay, I love talking about this.
Back in the day,
He was a goat,
funny.
and he Fat Albert. Come on now, like
He was.
in the
He was
Cosby
funny.
shit. He was a professor. He's a good guy. I mean, it's a couple ladies and a couple. I mean, whatever.
We didn't know.
Whatever.
We
It
didn't
was the
know.
'70s.
We didn't know what he was
tough.
doing.
It's tough for that stuff.
She said Bill Cosby.
I did. Bill Cosby. I just remember he did a joke, and I just remember he was talking about when his wife left him at home with the kids, and he would say, I gave him cake for breakfast. And, you know, the wife would come home and the kids would sing, Dad is great. He gave us chocolate cake. And I just remember thinking, he's so funny. But I was a kid. So.
Dad is great. He molested sleepy women. Hey.
Yeah, right?
It's all right.
All right, so we'll move past this.
No Diddy on the show. No Diddy. I think every time I was in contact with you too, I was like, "Hey, we're doing this podcast." No Diddy. Hey, I'm sorry, no Diddy. The strange times we live in. Now, were you familiar with George Carlin, Bill Hicks?
Oh, yeah.
Any of those folks?
Yeah. No, I will say my parents did keep us away from Carlin growing up. Because
Yeah, he always spoke the truth.
Yeah,
Right.
He was
spoke the truth. Yeah. He
He's
was out there.
anti-establishment.
Yes.
Yeah.
He used a lot of curse words, and we didn't get to watch a lot of that.
But how did you watch Pryor? He's
Oh
filthy
my
comedy.
gosh, and Eddie Murphy. My parents
Eddie
let me watch
Murphy
Eddie
Raw.
Murphy
You couldn't
Raw.
watch.
Oh my God.
You could watch Eddie.
We watched Eddie Murphy Raw, and honestly, I did revisit that special just a few months ago, and I thought, if anybody made these jokes, Chappelle gets fried
Oh
Yeah.
my
for
gosh.
even barely touching what Eddie Murphy just slayed back in the day.
Yeah,
Like,
would go 10 minutes on.
holy
Right.
cow,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's still a great special.
Where are you with speaking of that, with Chappelle and things like that, where are you at with I guess bringing phones into comedy shows in media and coverage on that?
I've been to some Chappelle shows, and I will say I'm always sad to like give up my phone when they like slide it into the
don't
neoprene
be.
sleeve.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this.
But on the other hand, this is somebody's private material. This is their written stuff, and you don't want your stuff to be stolen. Like, this is so private. You know, this is this is something that somebody has worked so hard. You know how long it takes to, write even a 5-minute polished set. So for anybody to take or grab or republish his stuff without permission, I totally get it.
The other thing too, so I've been the Yellow Springs.
Yeah.
Me and my ex, we went there, and to me it was like a wedding ceremony because I grew up on Chappelle.
Yeah, right.
Like Chappelle showed, Chappelle stand up, all that. And
How old are you? If you don't mind me
33.
asking? 33, right on.
And being at that event was you're okay. If you want, I'll keep going.
Yeah, you keep going. Give her Frankie.
Bye, doggy.
Frankie.
Oh, do you want some Lebanon salon door? Yes, you
This
do.
is actually just
Wag
the
your
ad.
tail if you like it.
Come here, Frankie.
But
Keep going.
the
Come on.
I've gone in 2021 when Bill Burr was in town,
Bill Burr.
and then
Yeah.
22 when Cat Williams was in town.
Oh,
And the thing with no cell phones, the purity of the show.
right?
Because like while you're in there, like even when XYZ's up and just the atmosphere of everyone else, because
Right.
everyone else is so used to being on their phone and they want to hit record so bad.
Non-stop.
But like,
Non-stop.
so everyone's kind of like, wait, what is this?
Right.
Now me growing up, I grew up listening to Tool. I'm a
Oh, I love
giant
Tool.
Okay, I got the
Huge
Tool
Tool fan.
tattoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tool has always been no cell
Anti-phone,
phones.
Yep.
Because they want like it's the purity of that event.
It's the experience.
Yes.
You
And,
should not be robbed of it.
Exactly, but Tool does it cool where now they like at the very last song, all right, fuckers, take your phones out.
But you know, with Maynard, like I remember my first Tool concert, seeing him all the way in the back, and I thought, I came from Maynard, and I can't see Maynard.
He's in the
Like,
shadows.
He's in the back, just
Yeah.
boogieing back, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was your last Tool show?
Oh man, I worked in radio, so it would have been probably. Man, I'm gonna really say my age here. I've already said my age. Probably 2012, 2011, maybe.
So
It's
10,000 Days tour.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that and I'm gonna show my age. That was my first Tool concert.
No.
Yeah, it was 2011, 2012. It was a
Man.
U.S. Bank Arena at the time.
U.S. Bank Arena.
Yep.
Side note, back in the day, back in my day, I actually used to help U.S. Bank Arena. They had a subsidiary company known as Niederlander Entertainment,
Okay.
and they actually hired me to bring in bands to help boost ticket sales for national acts whose ticket sales weren't doing so well. So it was my job to kind of scout, find bands that could kind of increase ticket sales and open for those national acts.
Okay.
So that was a fun time in my life.
Now, for doing that, like, is that just because you had to end with the local promotions and local
Lots.
communities?
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots. Tons.
Because that's what we're doing in Ohio. I'm making comedy great again. Check out the Lay Down Comedy Hour starring
Misty V!
Yeah. So I want to keep talking about comedy because comedy is art,
Yeah, it's our thing, yeah.
and art comes
Passion.
passion and pain.
It is pain. Lots of pain.
So like you're laughing through the pain because it's laughter is the original medicine. I know you're a doctor and all that. But that's what my dumb boy brain thinks. Like, well, I do muscular therapy. I still don't remember. So to me, I'm just like, oh, she's a doctor, and but that's just so crazy because like you live obviously a very healthy lifestyle. You know, you're active on vacation. You're paddleboarding. Birthday, hey now.
Very healthy.
Actually, out of all the beers, that's actually a healthy alternative.
Yes.
For beers, shout out Sonder.
Oh, is it? I didn't realize that.
It actually
Great.
tastes good.
It
though.
tastes great.
Tastes
Yeah,
great.
honestly,
Exactly.
I'm sure this is great.
So you have a healthy lifestyle. You're a healthy human, and us degenerates aren't used to seeing healthy people. Because like you just look at you and you're like, oh, this is a happy, fun person, and then it's like, no,
You know what?
pain.
I think if we got to be honest, and that's what comedy is, you have to admit, like, I don't care how perfect everything looks on Instagram or in someone's life, it's not. It's never perfect.
Exactly.
And I, for never once, wanted anyone to look at my life thinking, oh, she must have it so good. Come listen to us do comedy. It's not. Like,
Yeah.
one of my comedian buddies reached out to me today. He's like, how's your day? I'm like, I only cried 4 times today.
Hey, at least you cry. I cry once a day still. So
Right.
shout out tears. Be gay. GATY.
Right. Let it out.
Yes.
But for comedy, that's just it. Like I had a shitty childhood, and
Yeah.
I still actually do some, and I got to be really careful with some of my comedy that I this is why I don't post a lot of my comedy bits online, because schools still hire me to come in and talk to middle school and high school students.
All right.
And it's because where I come from and where I grew up, and I came from hell. So those are the things as an adult you work through, especially when you're raising your own children. But if you can find something funny in the tragedy of everything that is life,
Like Bill Cosby.
like Bill
Putting
Cosby.
pills in the pudding. Hi, middle schoolers. Do you guys like pudding? Hey. Someone's going to sleep today.
It's true.
Someone's going to
It's
see-
No, but no, that's very important because like I didn't realize I was living in a not okay environment
Sure.
until I was 33.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Because that was your environment. You didn't know. Right.
Exactly. So, But no, I always had though. I always had comedy and music. I was listening to Stained. I had the emotional ranges of a 13-year-old girl. Still do. But like that, I'm like, why is everything he's saying so real? And then I was listening to Disturbed and Slipknot and Korn, and these guys all went through super trauma. And I'm like, they have it real bad, but like I'm okay, but like. Why do I motherfucker get down with this shit? Like why do I get down with this? And I'm in the gym and I'm like, turn Super Saiyan. It's like
he's cussing out his mom like,
you
stupid whore.
And I'm like, why do I fuck with this so much? But I love my mom and she loves me, right?
Right.
Turns out she didn't. But
which is why we're comedians.
Yeah. But it took me so long to like you have to have. I had rage in my heart. Legitimate rage, and I didn't understand that.
Right.
And as a comic, when I say like passion and pain, like your heart's hurt.
Yeah, of course.
And that's kind of like your outlet to do that.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So,
it is.
And I don't think this is for all comics, but I think I'll speak selfishly for me because I've done 5-hole open mics.
Nice.
And I'm never doing comedy again. I'm not. The only reason why I even did open mics, I was just trying to network with comedians.
Okay, yeah.
Because like I've been wanting to do this
for a while.
Forever.
Yeah.
And I have the team around me. Shout out Philip. Shout out. I won't say your name publicly, but you know who you are. and Dean. There's 4 of us running this machine, and there's something like for me. It was like I just wanted to be on stage and just someone accept me. Like that's kind of like what I'm drawn to. And now is that at all like what kind of keeps you going, or do you like just more like craftsmanship on the art and you just want to get funnier?
You know, the first time I did it, I thought that's just a bucket list, one and done, right? I went out there, I killed my
you
very
sold
first
out,
show.
right? That's crazy.
I went out there, I killed my very first show, and I just remember for like the next 3 days getting texts and calls from so many friends that were there like, I can't believe you did it, like you killed it. Like my 7th grade teacher had me on a podcast after that, and he was like,
yeah, he did.
She got up there and she'd been doing it 20 years, and I thought I should do this again.
Yeah,
I think I want to do this again. So like I said, I went out and bombed really hard.
Good, you need to.
Yeah,
I mean,
I bombed so hard, and I remember coming home and I called my comedy mentor, and I just love her so much, and she's like, oh my God, grow up.
Yeah.
You've got thicker skin than that. I've heard your life story, like get up. And I'm like, in it. The next time I went out after that really hard bomb, I thought, I don't know if I can do this. And when every other comedian shared with me their bomb stories, I'm like, oh, fuck this. We're all gonna bomb.
You only progress through struggle. Like I think that with everything in life, but especially comedy. Like you need to, and that's why it's important for comics to have a diverse crowds, because when I did
you can't just be your friends. Your friends find you funny.
Or it can't just be this like whatever bar in Ohio.
Right.
But like I'm trying to do it at breweries, y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out. That's a good diverse. Exactly.
We're back again.
But comics, like for that art, you need a stage and you need an audience. You can sit and write. You can sit and write. You can even like throw things on YouTube. But like in order to get better at the craft of comedy, you really need different crowds.
Audiences, you do.
Yeah. Because then once you start seeing like the same people every week, it's like, I mean, I'm not getting really any better.
Right? I need someone to tell me when I sucked and why, and I need someone to not laugh so I can go home and rewrite and rethink what I did wrong, you know?
And then cry.
And then cry. A lot.
Why won't they love me? Oh, man.
So one thing I always find interesting with comics, full disclosure, I'm not a comic, but I love comedy, and I love stand-up.
But he's a musician, y'all, producer.
I'm a musician.
All that.
I do all that kind of stuff. And that's what kind of ties into this question is when I listen to comics, I almost feel like I'm getting a genre based off of what comic I'm listening to, the types of jokes that they tell and how they tell them. What would you say your sort of comedic genre is? Like
middle-aged. Like, I mean, listen, it's no joke. I'm turning 47 tomorrow, and it's definitely middle-aged. It's all about all the things I wasn't willing to admit, except to my closest personal friends, about what it was like being middle-aged. It's freaking, like right now I'm having a hot flash. You guys, I'm dying in here. I'm sweating.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But it's just accepting the fact that you're aging and all the jokes that come with that. Like, my hair is thinning. I couldn't read the shit on your bottle. Like, I've got glasses.
Did you just say shit? This is sweet Noor product.
That's right. Not shit.
How dare you?
But I can't read. Like, I have to have glasses everywhere I go. And it's just accepting the reality of aging. So it's definitely my genre is middle-aged jokes. It's not for somebody. And I remember I did a comedy show at the Louisville Comedy Club.
Fun.
And the entire 2 front rows were these 20-something-year-old girls who are just staring at me like this all the time.
Like, this is my future.
What she gonna say?
They didn't get it. They didn't understand it. But everybody in the back who was a guy my age or older was like, ah!
Exactly.
But the girls in their 20s were just like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I'd say middle age.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you're not the belle of the ball? I don't understand.
What is she talking about? Losing her hair? I don't know.
Just see someone or something. That's
Right?
easy to fix.
It's because you're hormonal.
Yeah.
And is that kind of, is your goal to like stay there? Because I know some comics, I feel like they try to branch out and try to do more things. And sometimes I feel like it works. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't work. And is your goal as a comic just for the future? Like, what are your goals to be?
I definitely want to do a couple of things. One, I want to be able to riff better. Like, I can riff with
Crowd
you
work.
guys. Yeah, I can do it in my office. I do it nonstop. In fact, a lot of my material is written in my office. A lot of my material is me. My clients are so great. First of all, I want to say this. When we get medically licensed, they tell you that there's ethical boundaries. And you don't want to share certain things with the people or the patients or the clients in your office. Yeah. And they shouldn't share those things with you because now you're just transferring negative energy. Yes. But the reality is after you spend years with people, you start to share everything. And
100%.
That's when I started writing, like, all of my, I'm going to say 90% of my material is actually written in my office because people are like, what'd you do this week? I'm like, let me tell you. Yeah. So when I tell the story, I put my comedic spin on it and they're like, they're dying. Yeah. They're dying. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to write that one down. That one works.
Well, so you actually have crowd work then. You have beta testing right there at work.
That's literally beta testing. Right. And one of my clients even said, like, when you write something new at home, take it to the office and test it first. That's a good call. That's awesome. I'll test it on everybody there. They didn't pay for that, but they're getting it.
All right, so you've been doing it for 2 years as far as like hopping on stage and grinding. How many comics have hit you up wanting to have writing sessions with you?
Oh my gosh. Please share. Listen, I'm naive when it comes to that, and I gotta tell you, I have gotten...
Right now, I'm even blank. What is going on right now?
Do you want me to say what it is first and then you talk about it, or do you just want to talk about it?
First, let me just say this.
Okay.
You just said this, and I swear to you, right before I left for Florida, I had a few hit me up, like, you want to get together and get some drinks and write. And I'm so naive, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love your input. Like, now you telling me this tells me this may not have been so innocent.
That's how comics slide. That's a comic slide in the DMs of like, hey, do you want to have a writing session and play with my penis? That is literally it. And like,
listen, to all you guys watching, he just gave up your whole...
Busted.
You found
Do
out.
better. Don't be good, be great. No, I mean, kill Tony. You know about Tony Hinchcliffe and all that?
Yeah.
Real quick. No, I'll finish this thought and then I have a second question.
Okay.
There's a Ohio comic lady, for some reason she goes to Bricky's, but during, I think it was the pandemic, 2020, 2021, 2022-ish, she did kill Tony, and she was in Austin for a minute. And she's a brunette, I think her name is Lily, maybe? Layla.
She is so cute.
She's a murderer.
She is cute.
She is
Layla Ingalls. She is adorable.
And a murderer. She literally has the fucking chops. And like,
she does.
But she's good for, like, Austin is the mecca. Like, you go to Austin, New York, Cali.
Yeah.
For now, until Cincinnati is the one.
Yeah.
Exactly. But even her, like, she hopped back on Kill Tony recently, and they're like, even, like, Tony Hinchcliffe called that out on the set. He was like, oh, what, do a lot of comics ask you for writing sessions? And she's like, yeah.
That poor little sweet face was like, yo.
Yeah. But no, she's a murderer, man. She should move out to Austin. What are you doing here?
Yeah, for real, though. She's amazing.
And, but speaking of Kill Tony, the greatest comedic piece of anything happened. I guess it's happened over 4th of July weekend, but it got released last week. The Donald Trump, Joe Biden.
I have to see this still.
Oh, Oh, it's the great.
This.
When I say
it's
it's
on
the
my
great.
YouTube list last night, and I didn't have time to watch it. I need to see.
Yo, I
this.
told my Fox News dad. I told the sweet Christians about it. Shout out Shane Gillis. Dude, I'm telling I can't even explain. Especially when you have to watch the whole thing because you can see clips and laugh aggressively. Like you can just watch the reels as little appetizers. But the magic that happens on that episode,
I got to see it.
Is so unscripted.
Got to see it.
And it is pure gold.
It's Shane Gillis, right?
Shane Gillis is
It
Donald
was
Trump.
all unscripted too.
Oh yeah,
I watched clips of it.
it's just Shane Gillis doing this. You're gay, or a comic would come on bomb, and because the whole concept of Kill Tony is you get 1 minute, everyone knows the rules. Kind of like one bite, everyone knows the rules.
Okay.
So either a comic or just hey, I'm just a fan and want to put my name in the bucket. They pull him.
I love it.
So he does a minute, and Donald Trump. That was terrible. That was the worst set of all time.
Of course.
And then I'll go ahead and spoil this, but there's an Army Ranger, Latino Army Ranger who got on stage. And we're talking dude's seen some shit and done some shit. And he just had the most horribly racist set of all time.
Oh, no.
He referred to I wouldn't refer to black people as monkeys, they're more of dogs.
No more.
And Donald Trump, Shane goes just greatest set I've ever seen. Dude, it was, and Joe Biden, Adam Ray, shout out Adam Ray. The greatest comedic accomplishment I ever had was quoting Adam Ray's, because they were doing a little, something happened. Go watch it. But when Joe Biden sits down, he's like, I just jerked off a Sesame Street character on you. And he said, haha. So that was my comedic accomplishment. But Adam Ray's his facial expressions as Joe Biden is insane. They're lost and saw it. See the Kill Tony, Trump, Biden has 11 million views already.
I was gonna say it was on my YouTube list last night, but I didn't have time to watch it. I gotta sit down and watch it.
Absolutely.
It's coming.
So shout out Kill Tony.
So if we go back to the writing session, this is just me trying to learn as a non-comedic person. What even is that for comics? A real writing session.
That's the beauty of comedy.
Okay.
It can be what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
For
So
me,
I know what I do when I'm up here, 3:00 in the morning with a glass of wine writing music. But what
you've
is
been in the lab with the pen and the pad.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. But with comics, what you have ideas or things just happen at work, and boom, you write it down.
It's an idea, but you got to take that idea and you got to be able to parlay it into something that's going to translate.
I love parlays. They call me Parlay Poppy. I'm
Well, define parlay too.
Transcribe it. You got to be able to put it into something that everybody else can kind of get the humor in it, not just you. Because inside my head, it's already funny. But now, what words will you use to take that part of your life and make it funny?
That's the craftsmanship right there. It's really so this is a funny thing. People find it funny.
Yeah.
How do I deliver it funny to an audience I have no idea who's in the crowd?
That's true.
So even when you're writing the joke, you are literally picking the exact words, not just the overall topic.
Yeah.
Picking words, and then as you're writing it, you think, how would I deliver it? Would I pause here? Would I say it like this? Will I wait to make eye contact now? Will I... it's just there's so many pieces and
they're all important.
All of it.
You want to talk about timing on a beat,
the artistry.
So think about when you're doing a beat, say it's in fours, but it's actually if you put it in thirds and added some delays to make up for the thirds, or you want to shout out to Tool, they do shit in sevens, which is fucking crazy. But
you're thinking that way when you're doing.
You're finding your rhythm.
Right.
You're finding your tempo, and on top of finding your tempo of the delivery, you have to find your melody on top of that. When am I doing? When am I? Anyways, dramatic pauses are very,
very real. Layla is a good example of that. When she tells a joke, she waits and she looks around and makes eye contact with at least 5 or 6 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't quickly move on to the next. She's not dropping things because she's only got 5 minutes. She's literally just waiting and she's making eye contact. It's the pause.
Yeah. But it takes reps in front of. That's why stage time is so important for comics, because you can be in the lab and write all you want, but until you are on stage, that's where you perfect that craftsmanship. So you have these ideas, you have these things. Right. You go on stage, it's okay, that didn't work, so you need the next stage time. And here in Ohio, there isn't that much stage time. That's what I'm trying to bring to comics. I'm literally recruiting a stable of comedians, and I know comedy more than anybody. I've listened to all the podcasts. I've seen all the specials.
Very
I've
nice.
seen all the live events. I've seen everything. So like, I know funny, and like, that's where I'm making a business out of funny is
Yeah, of
because
course.
like what I also know because I'm from 23, 24. I used to be a poker professional from 18 to 23.
Nice.
And
Very cool.
what I made in 4 years, I lost in 20 minutes.
No.
Yeah, because I was a dysfunctional degenerate.
Yay.
But I ended up getting an IT career, and I went from like basic IT help desk guy to Microsoft specialist to being
Nice.
a contractor for Meta and shit like that. So like, but what I learned in those, now I know what makes these people laugh.
Right?
So and literally everyone wants comedy and wants laughter, but like, I won't say their name, but X Brewery, they have a stage. They tried a comedy thing, but it was just like, like just whatever comics not great, and the audience didn't love it, so they're like, we don't really want to do this again.
We're gonna talk after this. I want to know which brewery because there was a brewery I hit, and I will never go back to that place again.
All right, we'll talk. But,
Ever.
yeah, but like there is not only sauce per comic doing their sets and doing things, but there's a sauce to like having the right flavor of comedians to present to a show.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll hate about Go Bananas. Hate. I don't know if they still do this, so maybe I don't need to hate anymore. Hate's a strong word. I hate myself. That's true. 5 comedians on a Friday night set.
I don't know. I haven't done a lot of Friday. I've only done Mike nights there, like Wednesdays. And I have not been back to Go Bananas since probably
Good.
last fall.
Good. Well, not, as a comedian, I hope you go back, of
Right,
course,
of
but
course.
I hope I have better options. I saw Tim Dillon. You know Tim Dillon?
I know the name.
He's a great and powerful Tim Dillon. He's the funniest comic out right now. He's funnier than Shane Gillis. He's funnier than all
I'm
like.
gonna look him up.
He has the Tim Dillon show, and he's doing a special political event thing. He's on top of shit. He rules. But I saw him back in 2016, and this was right before he blew up.
Nice.
And he was at a Go Bananas show, and before I went to Go Bananas, I was used to Liberty Funny Bones because Liberty, shout out Liberty Funny Bone, like that's a great
Venue.
yeah. And it's opener, feature, headline.
Yeah.
Bada fucking bing. I go to Go Bananas, and you got 5 comics.
Right.
And it's like, and they're 10, 10, 10, 10, and then Tim Dillon, like, and even when Tim Dillon came on stage, because we went through 4, like, no-name comics who were just bombing, and then, so Tim Dillon goes on stage, like, what, we at a parent-teachers conference? Get the fuck up. And just immediate electric.
A good lift up.
Yeah. So, like,
good lift.
Three is the only recipe for, like, a live show, in my opinion, or even 2.
I agree.
Like, or even just 1, but like 3 is the secret sauce. But I also have a Tim Dillon story. So after the show, this is Go Bananas. You know that bar next door?
I have never been. I've had people invite me over, but
Of
I'm
course.
usually like, it's Wednesday, man. I got time.
Exactly. So
People gotta rest.
So this was like a Friday, and Tim Dillon's just outside smoking, and I was like, Christ himself is just out here chilling.
By himself?
Yeah, and it's me, my older brother, and my conspiracy theory cousin.
Oh, God.
I mean, I joke about it, but this dude's dead serious. The Turning the Frogs game! Dude, he jerks off to Alex Jones every night.
Oh, no.
So it's me, my brother, and my cousins, who's a very handsome man too, by the way, bodybuilder and all that.
Nice.
And Tim Dillon's a homosexual, so I don't know if that
I did
helped
not
it
know
out.
that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He would love to hear that. But we end up talking to him. We talk about
Sure.
we talk about whatever. I won't say the specifics, but we ended up talking for over an hour because he was more engaged in our conversation, talking about like reality. Because at the time we're talking about like the Paul brothers, the government. Like we're talking awesome deep. And that conversation was the greatest thing that has ever happened to me to date. Because I'm sitting there, yeah, that's the word. It was. And like all the comments were like, "Hey, you want to go to this bar?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Right, this is where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Like,
We're having an actual conversation, and that leads us back into the writing process.
Yeah.
You need to find like-minded individuals, and even with writing, like you don't need to just sit there like, "All right, everyone, grab a pen. Now, first one to write a sentence gets their dick sucked. That's what your writing sessions will be like. But you need to just talk.
Yeah.
Hit a record button.
Right.
Just talk.
Have good conversations.
Yeah, and then
Real
take notes.
conversations.
Like,
So
Yeah.
during the writing sessions, I guess, is it more like, hey, I have this joke, I'm going to work on it with you?
you would do that more with like your specific comedian friends. So you
Yeah.
have like a mentor.
Yeah.
She would go to her mentor and be like, all right, I'm working on this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Now, I recommend cooking sessions with like small groups.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
just
a good idea.
just talk and just record. Because
Nice.
art will naturally come out of that. Just sharing stories, sharing pain, sharing
That's how it
laughter.
does, yes. Which is probably why a lot of my stuff gets written in my office, right? We're sharing our life stories, we're sharing so many things, and that's where it comes from.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So, for not being a comedian, I know a comedian. No, I'm telling you, I've listened to everyone's podcast. Your Mom's House, Shane Gillis, Tim Dillon. Well, going back to Tool, the only reason I knew about podcasting was back in 2013. I'm in Florida. I'm playing poker for a living.
Nice.
Maynard James Keenan does 3-hour interview. What the fuck?
3 hours, dude. Joe
3
Rogan.
hours.
But hold on. Maynard, because you know this back in the day,
He's a very quiet, hidden type of personality.
they don't talk anything. No one from Tool does any sort of no publicity, no marketing,
Ever.
nothing. Because as Bill Hicks once said, if you're in marketing or advertising, you should kill yourself. That was back in 1989. I'm sure he'd be rolling around in his grave right now. But and that was Bill Hicks was Maynard's huge inspiration.
Nice.
So like seeing him on a 3-hour conversation, and then I got into the Joey Diaz, the whole like Death Squad people, Red Band, all that fun stuff. So that was my gateway into podcasting. Already being a stand-up comedian fan,
Right.
because like it's just weird that like Maynard is my center of art.
Yeah.
Because like what he does, I'm
But
like,
he is art, though.
he is an artist. I mean, he does a vineyard where he literally handpicks and made his own vineyard out in Arizona.
Oh,
like
yeah.
to do
I
that.
bought those expensive bottles of wine.
Oh, same here. I bought plenty.
I bought Judith back in the day, like after his mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So what would be your, I guess, goal show? Like, if you could set up a show the way you wanted, have the comics that you wanted to have, in the venue you wanted to have it, in the city you wanted to have it, what's that?
Are you asking me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I guess we'll do both.
I mean, yeah, both of you.
Comedian first.
You know what? I'm still getting there. Like, I hosted my very first comedy show in June, right before I took a break. And I'm back, by the way, July 26th.
Hey.
26th.
But
I'm
I
getting
did so many
ECT.
shows in June, and I want to like roll back to the one I did in Fort Myers on something you said a few minutes ago. But I took a little break. But the last show that I did a couple of weeks ago was actually hosting my very first time, and I just remember getting up there and I thought one of the comedians I'd met at a really terrible show in Inglewood weeks before that was like, just have fun.
Yeah.
When the crowd sucks and there's hardly anybody in there, just sit back, look up, take a deep breath, and just remember you're gonna have fun no matter what. And
That's good advice.
you're gonna have fun. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how shitty the crowd is. It doesn't matter what's going on. Just have some fun. And I just remember thinking, man, I have so much to learn. But first and foremost, I'm gonna have some fun. So the very next night, I was at a Chillicothe, Ohio gig, and I was opening for a headliner. And I remember looking across all these faces, and there was only 3 faces I knew in that crowd, and it was a sold out show. And I thought, I'll have some fun with this. We're gonna have some fun. But anyways, I hosted the weekend after that, and I remember him telling me, like, don't expect big things. Like, you're just getting the crowd warmed up. A lot of people are still getting settled in. They may not even hear you yet. Whatever. Just do your thing. You're gonna be fine. And I just remember hearing so many laughs, and I thought, wow, I did okay at hosting. I did great.
Hell yeah, you did.
And when I got off, he said, what's your Cash App so I can pay you? And I said, I'm getting paid.
Let's go.
What? So to your question, I'm just now getting used to getting paid, right? It's year 2 for me.
Yeah.
It's nobody saying, hey, you want to hit an open mic. I'm actually getting booked for things now, and some people are paying. And I'm like, you know what? Even if it's $25, it paid for the gas, right?
Right.
Like, getting paid is getting paid. So I don't know specifically yet what my goals are. I think it's just to get better at writing, delivery, having more fun on stage, and taking all the criticism I can from all the comedians that are way above me, and just
There you go.
Those
taking it all
sound like
in.
great, at least things
Good
to soak
goals.
in to
Right.
that's going to propel you a lot.
Right.
Taking criticism and just having fun.
Right.
Like, those two
Get
things
better.
alone, like
Get better.
I do. I have a comedian question. So you're working on these goals. You're starting to get paid. Things are going good. Your momentum building. Now, is working on an hour special part of that goal?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because like, how much time can you do right now? Like 10, 15, 20?
Right now, I could probably do 20 minutes of stuff I'm comfortable with, and probably riff for a couple of minutes in between, and roll it out to 25 if I had to.
Okay.
But polished, I would say I'm at 20 something minutes.
Okay, perfect.
But even that, like some of that stuff I've been doing for over a year, and I'm like, I'm getting tired of it. And everyone's like, you might be tired of it, but there's so many people that haven't heard it.
That's the
and
key.
you should still use it here and there and keep polishing it
until you have it out.
Right.
On
Until
something.
right.
Yeah. That Netflix
Keep
special.
because it's been killing this whole year. Write new and you know, insert the new in the middle somewhere. But that's
that's smart.
definitely an hour for sure.
Totally get that. Yeah, I mean, that happens with music all the time, too. I tell my artists all the time. They're like, oh, you know, I wrote this song back in 2015. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, so-and-so down the street still hasn't heard it.
Nobody heard it.
So it doesn't matter how long ago you wrote it.
Exactly.
Just because a handful of people at Bricky's heard it 3 times doesn't mean it's done and dead. Like, that's... You gotta get it back out there.
But I'm going to answer the question.
Please.
What was the question again precisely? So I can answer precisely.
What would you say your ideal show is?
Diverse.
Hey,
age range, culture.
I like that.
Every community. I want the queer community. I want trans community. I want successful gazillionaires. I want broke, ignorant Trump people. Like I want
everybody.
I want everybody there, and that's why I like the breweries scene.
Yeah.
Because the breweries are. I went there yesterday on Tuesday.
Nice.
Packed. We got families, we got this, we got that, we got dates, we got this, and that. Yeah. So like,
it's that office quote when they're sitting there like, black people like pizza, white people like pizza. So everybody likes some breweries, you know, you all have fun there no matter what.
And I love pizza, so I'm delivering pizza to everyone. I had such a troubled time in my late 20s that my only source to the outside world was the Domino's delivery guy.
Wow.
Because we saw each other every day. I ordered Domino's every fucking day.
We had to order down like it's him again.
Yeah. And then like one day I answered the door with a Tool t-shirt on. And I'm a big Tool fan, got the tattoo and everything. And he's like, hey man, you know they're playing in Lexington? I was like, what the fuck? What? And I call up my brother. My brother's also a giant Tool and Danny Carey fan. The drummer. He's the best drummer of all time.
He is great. Yeah.
And I tell him, like, do you know about this concert? No. So I literally found out about a Tool concert via a pizza delivery guy. And that's how sad my life has been. But I want to, let's wrap this up with this. You had something about Fort Myers, and before, or you can go ahead and answer that, but I also want to ask you about paddleboarding.
So the Fort Myers, I performed at a place in Fort Myers in June as well. And thanks to my music background, I just remember when I worked with Nederlander Entertainment, he would always say, I know you're invited to all these parties after, but you need to stop going because not because you're necessarily the only female working in this business right now, but number one, that's your talent. Like you're booking them, this is their job, and you don't need to socialize to get anything more accomplished. Your job is accomplished for the night, go home. And I'll never forget, I was in Fort Myers performing in June, and there was a handful of comics that went up that night, and the headliner that had actually went on at the 7:30 show stayed behind to watch the rest of us. And married guy from Massachusetts. He was really funny. Older guy. I say older, he was probably my age. So
you're 20, so
he was my age. But I'll never forget after, like he was hitting on so many of the female comedians that were there.
Yeah, of course.
And then he walks up to me, slides his hand across my arm, and he was like, we're gonna go to such and such bar down the street, you should join us. And I remember thinking, no, I came here what I did to do. I don't think there's anything more to accomplish from this.
No need to hang out with Bill Cosby.
No. Like I literally thought to every woman in this industry, there's nothing more you need to accomplish when you're done.
Yes.
Leave. Yes. It's time to leave. You're not going to get a Tim moment. Chances are.
Exactly.
You're going to get the guy that's trying to feed you too many drinks. It's time to go home. Just leave it. You did your job. Go.
Amen.
So that was that.
So just because we had a quick conversation that needs to be recorded though about paddleboarding. You can give me the history of your paddleboarding experience, but I also want to hear about the dolphins and sharks thing again.
So I've been paddleboarding for years. I'm a huge paddleboarding enthusiast, and I fly aboard anywhere. If I'm going to Tahoe, I fly aboard. If I'm going to Florida, I fly aboard with me.
That's cool.
And I hit the local lakes here in Ohio, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're seeing so many things. And a lot of people, and you've probably noticed this in the world, people will always put their fears on you. So they're like, oh my gosh, you're in the ocean. You can't see anything.
Right.
Or like my father, black people are scary. Fox News dad.
Boo.
Fox News people watch nothing but Fox News.
Yeah. Because fear is your only God, not Jesus. I mean, Jesus was a gay man. I mean, no, he wasn't gay. He rise from the dead. No, he didn't heal from his wounds. No, I mean, turning the frogs gay. Praise a lot. Continue.
That was unhinged.
I love the Muslim people, dude. For real.
Even at the comedy gig I did in Florida, in Fort Myers last month, I just remember like so many people were like, be careful, there's sharks in the water. I'm like, no shit, there's sharks in the ocean?
Like, oh, now I'm going to go home. You know, now I'm done.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But I just remember like someone saying to me, because I literally, I'm out there with dolphins. I'm on my board. It's peaceful. There's no music. There's just dolphins swimming underneath my board, around my board. It's been going on for years, and everybody's like, oh my God, what if that was a shark? How did you know? And I'm like, because I know the ocean.
Right.
So
Because I'm the Little Mermaid.
Right.
sharks,
I'm the one that's
just so you guys know, this is how you know it's a shark. They have fins too, just like dolphins, but sharks are going to go side to side. You're going to see the fin moving
Predator.
side to side, right? And they're usually just exploring, right? They're not really hungry, maybe. And then
Hopefully.
dolphins have more of an aerodynamic swim. It's going to be up and down. They will never go side to side. So when you see the fin going up and down, that is a dolphin, not a shark.
Fun fact. Write that down.
Fact. Side
Tremendous.
to side, shark, up and
and
down,
down.
dolphin.
Philip, any more questions?
No, I don't want to keep you, but I do want to thank you so much for coming
Oh, thanks
here
for having me,
and-
you guys,
yeah,
and getting me afternoon drunk. This is
Yeah. Shout out Saunders.
Shout out to Saunders.
I do have one last question.
Yeah.
Because the theme song of this podcast is check yourself before you wreck yourself. Big dicks in the ass. Big dicks in the ass are bad for your health. Are big dicks in the ass bad for your health?
I agree.
All right, we got
There it
this.
is. There
Now
it
we know.
is. Now we know.
It is solidified.
I'm not Nikki Glazer. I'm not going to glorify. I'm not going to glorify how to take it up the ass. I don't want to take it up the ass, and I don't recommend taking it up the
So
ass.
big dicks in the ass are indeed bad for your health.
Here we
Thanks for
go.
joining. Chase your art. God is love. Love is God. All that fun
All the
stuff.
things. All the things.
Yeah. Shout out Saunders.
Shout out Saunders.
Thanks, Saunders.
And shout out.
And North. Lebanon North
North,
Salon.
yes.
They rule.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Let me get this air on right now.
I'm sweating so much. Yeah, I only got 3 pies, so it's good.
Where are you?